let's understand how the current flows through a wire or a conductor. So here I have connected a wire AB to a cell or a battery, that is a DC source. The end A of the wire is connected to positive end of the battery. The B end of the wire is connected to the negative end of the battery. So that means A is at higher potential and B is at a lower potential. So therefore in this case the current flows from A to B, because current always flows from higher potential to lower potential. So this is in the case of direct current DC. So that means current always flows in one direction, that is from higher potential to lower potential, that is from end A of the wire to end B of the wire. So now let's understand how AC flows through a wire. When AC source is connected to a wire or a conductor, the current flows in the form of cycles. I have shown you two cycles. One cycle is from PQR ST and other cycle is shown with the dotted lines. So when we understand how this current flows through a wire, I can divide this one cycle into two halves. One is upper half, that is from PQR, and other is lower half, that is RST. So when we connect an AC source to a wire AB, during first upper half the current flows from A to B, and during lower half the current flows from B to A, that is it has reversed its direction. So we can understand it better if we divide the cycle into four parts. So one cycle into four parts. That means P to Q is the first part, Q to R is second part, and R to S is third part, and S to T is fourth part. Okay. So when during the first part from P to Q, the current flows from A to B and it rises from 0 to maximum value, that is 0 at P, and Q is shown at maximum value. So it flows from A to B, but it rises in this direction from 0 to maximum value. Now during the second part, that is shown with QR, the current flows again in the same direction from A to B, but it decreases from maximum value Q to R, 0 value. So that means in the during second part the current flows from again from A to B. During the first part current flows from A to B, but it rises, and during the second part Q to R, the current again flows in the same direction A to B, but it decreases from maximum to 0 value. Now let's come to the third part. During the third part from R to S, the current has reversed its direction, that means it flows from B to A, but it rises from 0 to maximum value, that means R to S. It is shown with R to S. In the during third part, the current flows from B to A and it rises from 0 to maximum value. Let us again think about the fourth part. During the fourth part of the cycle, one cycle, the current flows from B to A again, but it decreases from maximum value S to T. So again we can see that from maximum to 0 value, the current is flowing in the same direction B to A. So we can sum up for AC cycle. We can again that during the first half you can understand that first half the current flows from A to B, but it rises from 0 to maximum value and then fall from maximum to 0 value. And during the lower half it flows from B to A and it rises from 0 to maximum value once, and again it falls from maximum to 0 value. So this is how the current flows during one cycle. So the same current, similar way the current flows in this cycle and third cycle and fourth cycle, etc. So many cycles are passing through the wire, and it is shown in the form of frequency, written in the form of frequency That means sometimes there are 50 cycles passing through the wire in 1 second. In many countries there are 60 cycles passing through the wire in 1 second. So this is how you can understand that how the AC current flows through a wire. AC flow, actually this is sine graph is the graph shown. It is not in the form of this. The current goes up and down. Current goes from down to up through the wire. Actually, this is the case that you can understand again from in the first fourth part. The current flows from A to B and it rises from 0 to maximum value, and during the second part the current again flows from A to B, but it falls from maximum value to 0 value, and in third part the current reverses its direction from B to A, but it rises from 0 to maximum value as such, and again during the fourth part the current again flows in the same direction B to A, and that it falls from maximum value to T. So this is how we can understand the flow of AC through a wire. So I think you have followed it.